Hey friends, coming to you. We had rain twice this week. So we hadn't had rain for 3 months. And we had rain, I think a little over an inch a few days ago. And then it rained a little bit last night and this morning. So I am happy because it was so dry here. And fall is a season that's dry to begin with, but oh my goodness, the amount of dust and debris was incredible. So you can see that the garden is completely done. It actually is a few days before Thanksgiving. Today's Tuesday, so it's 2 days before Thanksgiving. And we have some Brussels sprouts that I could technically harvest. They're small, but they are completely covered in white fly. I have some romaine I need to harvest because we've had a few light frosts. Oh yeah, look, here's a worm right there. Still not killing the worms. So we've had a few light frosts, nothing substantial. So you can see some of the Tulsi is still alive, which is amazing, and some of the toothache, but you can see the majority of it has gone. I did harvest a bunch of it before. We have some other Brussels sprouts. Those are really babies. These are plants from last fall that finally did something, but covered in bugs. So I don't think we'll be using that. Oh look, here's a little string bean. Here, Moo. So yeah, even the nasturtium, there's a flower on it. But thank goodness we had some rain because it was just so dry. You could see the garden is really going into hibernation mode. We had some very small radishes that's funny, this okra is still alive, that had bug damage and whatnot, so I could salvage what I could. One of them didn't really have a strong head. That one had a strong head but had stopped growing, had bug damage on it. So yeah, lots of bug damage, lots of fungus this year, lots of people in the garden who aren't supposed to be in the garden. I've got some radish seed that's gone to seed here. I'm going to leave these seeds and just let the birds eat it, let it do what it needs to do. This all needs to be cleaned up. I just have not been motivated to clean it. It's funny, even the horseradish was really struggling, and usually that's okay. So what's next? I need to cut all this down. I'm gonna probably bag it up because it all had fungus on it and I don't want to drop it where it is. But you can see the calendula is still blooming, which is exciting. That did have bugs on it too. We've got pretty much no more leaves on the trees. Right, so we are leafless, but we finally had rain. So I need to dig up the rest of the plants. So there's dahlias and some canis that are in the front of the house that need to be dug up. They got hit by that light frost and they're done. And then I have some pots in the garage that also need to be done. I need to harvest these 2 heads of romaine. These peas were planted in July. Oh look, there's some. We'll give those to B. And it took forever for them to grow because it was so hot. It never cooled down. And then we had no rain. So didn't really have much of a fall garden. I had seeded string beans, lettuce, peas, and really not a heck of a whole lot grew. We did have a good pepper population. Tomatoes, we did okay. We still have a bag of tomatoes that I am slowly letting ripen inside in a brown paper bag. We've got a bowl of tomatoes to be used. Eggplant, not so great. Whatever. Sweet potatoes, we got, I had 3 containers of sweet potatoes. If I got 10 sweet potatoes, that was a lot. But they had no scarring on them. They were not rotten. They were in good condition, so we'll take it. But it probably cost a lot more for the soil than I actually got from the food. And this is sometimes the struggle with gardening, is you spend a lot of time and energy and money and resources on trying to grow your food, your plants. And sometimes you're just tired and you don't want to water anymore, but you're in a severe drought and you have to water. And you're tired of picking bugs off. But you know, if you don't pick the bugs off, you probably won't have any food. So you have to find a middle ground where you're not completely depleted and you're still benefiting from the garden, whether it's the beauty of it, whether it's the food you can eat, because these Romanescus are incredibly small and there really is not much to them. There's a spear, right? But it's progress and it's still something. And if we can be grateful for what we do have, the lessons I gleaned, right? The beauty the garden offered me, and the beauty that the garden is now offering as a time of rest, right? Of dropping, it's feeling depleted. It's now going back into the earth, decomposing for next year's garden, for what may come, what will grow, how it will look different, how it will look maybe similar in some ways. And this is the same thing with life, right? That we can glean the lessons that life can be really hard and it can feel like a struggle and it can be really stressful and really overwhelming, and you just want to quit and call uncle and say, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And then you're able to see the beauty, the resilience, and the lesson, the wisdom in the hardship. That's what makes it worthwhile. That's what makes you show up again. That's what makes you decide to plant again. That's what makes you decide to not give up. So if you're feeling a little depleted now, a little worn down, a little tired, a little depleted, know that it's not forever, that it's temporary, and that next season you may feel a little more resourced, a little more energized, have a little more hope, and feel able to meet what comes. Until next time, friends, take care.